the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Here's the former Cornhusker Brett Maher to get this one started. And we are underway from AT&T Stadium. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Well, the Falcons now get to stretch their wings on offense here, and at quarterback for them is a former second overall pick who spent 4 seasons as a starter in Tennessee, Marcus Mariota.
After losing a starting job in Tennessee and playing as a backup in Las Vegas, many wondered if Marcus Mariota would get another shot to lead a team. Atlanta gave it to him this season as a bridge from Matt Ryan to the next era. Always a good runner. Don't discount Mariota as a playmaker who can win games for the Falcons. He did take Tennessee to the playoffs in his second season and gained valuable experience in Las Vegas.
Mariota's throw taken in by Edwards. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Throwing, Mariota. Flushed out right, and his pass incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
3rd and short yardage, Mariota. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
Well, I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Brett Maher on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. They go play action. Mariota. That's to the speedster Olamide Zaccheaus. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On first down, going back to Patterson. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Mariota. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. He's got room at the 30. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days? And they used to carry pianos on their backs when they were after they caught the football. Someone would stop and bang out a tune along the way as well. But nowadays, these guys are essentially bulked up wide receivers, and they are a full part of the passing game, and we see a lot of big plays as we just saw there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Throwing is Mariota. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mariota. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Again, it's Mariota. And did he get the feet down? No. They'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line. Dak Prescott and Dallas taking the field for their first possession. Dak now in his 7th season in charge of the Cowboys. 2-time Pro Bowler.
And not only was it great to see Dak Prescott make his return in 2021, it was even better to see him playing the best ball of his career. He didn't lead Dallas to just a division title and its best record in 6 years. Dallas also led the league in yards and points, the first time it has led in both since 1971.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Elliott. Uses the stiff arm, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Defense.
So the flag thrown for the contact, mark off the yardage.
And sometimes you just read a hitch route way too fast. You get there before you're supposed to, and there's the penalty.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. And we're down to the 41.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know, just trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. On the slant, he finds Washington. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They're going for it with the option right. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. Little read option, the end result, the 1st down, so a good read.
And the way teams are running it nowadays, they've added variety to it. You know, the original way was you read the defensive end. If he crashes down, you pull it and you go. Now they may not even block that person, may end up reading the linebacker, may read the cornerback. Just depends on how they want to block it up. In any case, this worked well for them.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this 1st half. Now Elliott, and he is going to lose yardage here. Drop behind the line on a nice play by Deion Jones.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers, but in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Washington. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. Prescott from the gun. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
So a well-paced drive. They were able to calmly take it down the field, and then they finished the half with 3 points.
Yeah, and that's what's commonly known as playing the 2-for-1 game, right? Being able to get the points at the end of the half, knowing you're getting the ball to start the second half, gives you a chance to go out and double what you got done in the first half.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And it's picked up by the Cowboys.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Maher is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Falcons. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Fielded right around the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he's got some space here. Fights through it. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. 81 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Great run there, but it looked like they were going to have him for the stop. He was able to push through. They didn't wrap up defensively.
No, they didn't. All credit to the runner for making it happen, breaking through some contact and going a long way. But the defensive guys, when they watch this on tape, they're not going to be real happy with themselves. They had a great opportunity that they let slip through their hands.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Dallas, Texas is the spot. Third quarter inside AT&T Stadium. Glad you're with us. 2nd and 10. And he'll get 4 there down to about the 12-yard line. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Got an open man. It's Washington. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on third down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The kick by Maher is good. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. And they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Cameron Batson now from his end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals.
And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
run it in. And he will dive into the end zone, and the two-point conversion is successful. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the two-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for two. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Mariota. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. And oh my goodness, he loses it again.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home, the next guy.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And he'll complete this. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. Prescott now after the fumble recovery. Out to his left. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Point after here coming up. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And they've got it. They recovered it. They hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go. Draw play, Elliott, and he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After the made field goal, Marr back out there to kick it away. Batson not going to risk returning it, so they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Mariota on 3rd and 2. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They'll go. It's Patterson. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Elliott. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They go to Elliott again. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And even 100 yards rushing now for Zeke, and he's got a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Elliott running right. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
I've heard you say that so much of being a great inside linebacker is diagnosis, and that time he diagnosed things instantly, made a beeline for the football.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, partner, you and I were excited for this one today, and it certainly had its moments. Some good execution at times by both of these offenses. Defenses both made some plays as well, and always a joy to be up here in the booth next to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be up here in the booth next to you as well. Thanks for taking the time, and let's go ahead and get ready for our next one, right? I'll see you in the film room. Get that preparation started now.